Okay, so I've got my acetate placed down, and I'm going to use my marker on this, and I'm just going to put a mark where I want to cut this. Let me get it cut. Alrighty. Let's see. So I'm put that extra piece in where I'm keeping my acetate. And another cut. And then we'll be back over doing our window. Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. So there's that. And you do want to try and keep your fingers off of this, because you don't really want to, you know, have a dirty you don't want to have a dirty piece of glass, so to speak. Okay, so let's use our score tape to get this down. I probably went a little too far. Well, I'll put 1/8 of an inch in there. I went a little too far down on that side. I don't think I cut it that long. So let me just put a little 1/8 of an inch on top of this one. So I am covered. There we go. Okay, a little burnishing. All right, and I think I am going to keep these little corners because they're kind of like perfect little corners for something. All right, so take our paper backing off. And I've got the dropsies. Dropping everything. It was garbage night tonight, so we had to go around the house and pick up all the garbage. So I got nice clean trash cans. I love clean empty trash cans. Oh, good Lord. Okay, now stop. I'm trying to get that pushed down so that I can get this where I need it to be, and I want it to cover up all of my score tape because I don't want my pictures or my paper to be stuck on the score tape. All right. And there is a little piece right there. There we go. Okay, so there I can burnish it a little bit. And you can see when you're doing it on the plastic, you can see it really makes a difference burnishing it versus just pressing it down. It gets bubbles out and all kinds of goodies. Okay. All right, so now, there we go. Let's see. So I have, let me bring my page back so I can see where we're at now. So I have this right up here. I have this right here. And we will line these up so that they match up. And in order to do that, do I need to cut this down any? I think I do. I think I need to cut this down just a smidge. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, I had to cut that pretty small for the section here in order to line this up, in order to line my pocket up and not have the pink hang over on one side too much. So there we go. And then we're going to be able to, oh, let me actually grab, we're going to be able to open this up. Yes, it's very nice. Okay, but what paper, you know, actually, let's see, what paper do I want? I think I'm going to put this, I don't know. I think I'm going to put this in here, though. It's got the little purple flowers, and these are little purple flowers, so I'm thinking I'm okay with all that. So let's make sure there is an up and down on this. And, do I want to have a little edge on it? I think possibly not. Because it will make it way too thick. So I'm going to get it right up to the score line and mark it right there and right there. Okay, so this should cover all that we've got to do. Okay, there's that piece. And my mark is right there. Okay. Make sure I've got it right. Oh, that's so pretty and delicate, isn't it? And I think I'm going to use glue because I don't want the score tape to interfere with the picture. And let me go ahead and ink the edges, even though you're not going to really see them. It's just in case. Why not, right? Okay. And it goes like this. So let's just put some glue down the three sides. All right. And I did that correctly. Remember, this is the bottom. So we want our print or whatever we, if it's got an upside, we want facing that way. And we're just going to drop that right down almost to the end. And we're going to let that dry. Make sure none of it's coming through. No, it's going to be very good there. Because I put the ink, I do that. My goodness, I don't know why I call my glue my ink. I put the glue just on the ends, and there's like a half an inch from the end to the frame. So we're very good. So now let's see. It's not super easy, but it's not hard either to get that in there. And let's see, you won't get a whole 4x6 in there. You will have to cut it down a little bit, but yeah, you'll just have to cut it a ½ inch off maybe. Yeah, that'll be it. So that's really nice. And now we can glue this down, and this makes our pocket to come behind here. Yay! Okay. All right, and then I need this, and I think it's just going to be easier to work on it while it's off. So I do have this bright pink. So I could do some bright pink. What do I think of having some of this up here? That's almost perfect to fit right there. That's really pretty. I think I'm just going to do that. And it's like perfect size. Yay! All right. Okay. Let's just double check. What do I have here? Oh, there's a little bit of paper peeled up on me. So I am going to just put a smidge of glue and fold that back over. Yeah, as long as it's not torn off. Even if it's torn off, sometimes you can still, you know, get it. What the heck? It won't. That little end must have some glue on it or something, because it won't take the ink. Does it have some of that? Maybe that's the top of the paper and it has some of that glue that binds it all together. Yeah? Oh well. We'll only do what we can do, because I can't feel it to pull it off, but I can feel that it's there. Oops. Alrighty then. I've got to refill or go. I don't know if I'm going to keep this big bottle. It's a lot easier on my hands. I'm getting to the age where arthritis is starting to creep in on me here. And I think that the bigger bottle is much easier on my hands. All right, so we're going to put this here. And I think that's stinking cute. There we go. A little bit of burnishing. There we go. There we go. Very, very cute. Now, I'm first going to put this down. Yes, first going to put this down. So we're going to get some glue on our flaps. Our little flippies. Yeah, I like that. Our little flippies. Little hingy things. Oh, I am kind of tired today. I've been putting some work in last couple days doing stuff, and my little body is saying, hey, you don't know what you're doing to me. And then we're just going to put a nice little bit of glue across the very bottom to close up our pocket. Now let's center the pocket and get it right on, staying away from the lines, the fold lines, but get it right even with the bottom. And I gotta remember, I've got these flowers here. I don't want to crush them. Let's see. There we go. So we have our nice pocket, and you can't see it, or you can get it into this pocket. Very nice. Yes, and then this is the piece that is going to go in. Now, why are you coming up? Let me see. Huh, this needs a bit more glue right here. I do not know why it was popping up. I guess I didn't give it enough time. I mean, that's about the only thing I can think of. I didn't give it enough time to dry. Don't be in a hurry. I usually am pretty good, but when I'm filming, I'm trying to get through it as fast as I can, because I know I don't tend to be a fast crafter. There are quite a few people out there that are much faster than I am. And I apologize for that, but I don't know. I like to share my thought process with you guys, but I know it's shortened things. You know, it definitely lengthens the period that you're. Now let's see if I can slide this in here. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Get it where we want it. Sorry if I got a better view of it than you do at the moment. Okay, and there we go. And I am just going to hold it where it's going under the pocket. And I am just going to put glue on this puppy. Oopsie. There we go. Now this should still, because I didn't feel it move, and it should line up very nicely. Now if you don't have anything that's lining up between the two, then, you know, it's even a little easier. But don't need you getting all over everything. Okay. There we go. So that is really cool. I love that. Now I will get something green. I'm just going to leave that in there so I remember that that is a tag. Now we've got this, and then we are going to be done. Okay, now this is long enough almost. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on my glue. And let's see what we have. So I've got that piece. Got that piece. Got some blue. It's kind of purpley blue, but it's still blue. That one's actually going to be look kind of like large enough to put a picture. And the rest of them are all the other paper line. Put that there. And I have this and I'm thinking that I might put this here. I don't really want to do a pocket. I've got enough pockets. So let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's do kind of a patchwork doodad. And let's go all the way across the top on this one. Staying away from your fold line. There is that. Oh, I need to cut it down just a little bit more. I picked the wrong, I forgot I'd put the double fold line in there. So we do have that almost 1/8 of an inch there. So you don't want to get into the way of that. Okay, so there's that. And let's see. Huh. And then we can put this here, cutting it down. And then I can put a strip of that there. And a strip of that there. Yes. That's what we're going to do. Let me ink these up. Now I don't know, that black is going to look good when I'm using all the black stuff, but it just drives me a little nuts when most everything is brown. And I know you can mix and match them and put them together, but oh, my handle's coming off of there. Wow. The little glue thingy in there stopped working. It kind of has enough friction just to keep it going. All right, and so this one's cut and ready. So let's go ahead and put it down. And we're just going to be doing a little, like a patchwork quilt, I guess. That's been getting very, very popular these days. People are really, really doing that up big. And I did them with, in my last video, using up a lot of scraps in that, your cards in the mail, where I did the box, and I used my little square punch, and I loved that. It was just super, super easy. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this so that it's even. I'm going to keep it as large as I can. I'm just going to throw that little uneven piece away. And I believe that's the top. see. Oh yeah. I was just making sure I was recording and that you could actually hear me. That's a nice thing, isn't it? Kind of handy. Okay, so then I'm going to put this down here. So I guess with these kind of patchworks, you want to do your larger pieces first, and I'm thinking photo placement. Yes, you will have to cut your photos down, or no, you won't. You'll be able to lay a 4x6 just like that, and it will give you a nice, interesting border around the photo mat. See, pull that up just a little bit. Okay. And then this piece I'm going to put here. And this piece I'm kind of thinking of journaling. Place to write, you know, what the photo is about, or the date and the year that the photo was taken, or anything like that. Let me get these little buggers cut off here. And I think I'm going to use my little one for this. Once it gets to a certain point, that Fiskars does a great job, but it's just pretty hard to get it in. Okay, let's check it for size. And I cut it just a tit short, so I'm just gonna kind of make it in the middle. And maybe, now this is one time when maybe getting a little more on the sides of your paper and giving it a frame can actually fill in that little bit of gap that that you missed because you cut it a tit short. So now here it is with, oops, with a little bit of a frame, and I'm going to put it back on there. And I think your eye does not go to the differences between it. It just goes to the center because you framed it. So now it's kind of highlighting the center of it. So just a little tip. And I think I've seen Scrap Queen do this. She makes little secret tuck spots. She's one gal that I like to watch, and she does a lot of this patchworking. So I am just going to put glue on 3 sides, and I'm going to leave the side that's closest to my photo mat, my small photo mat, open so that I will have myself a nice little tuck spot. Well, I mean, Scrap Queen isn't the one that made this up. I just have seen her do it a lot. But, you know, a lot of people do that. Just a little tuck spot. So then, there you go. Isn't that cute? And I am going to leave that there just to remind me that I need to put something there. I don't like that there, but, you know. Okay, now I'm going to see where I need this cut. We're going to do it right here. And then when I bring that here, we're going to bring it right there. All right, let me get these little buggers cut. And again, I'm going to use my little one. right. So let's see. Here we go. All right, isn't that pretty? I love it. And again, I'm going to give myself a nice little edge. And again, this can be a journal spot for here. Okay. And that used up some of my smaller pieces. And I'm not going to do a tuck spot here. I am just gluing it down. All right, so we are done. Oh, no, we're not. I got one more. I got one more. Okay, close this back up. And, you know, I was going to put a closure on this, but I think maybe I'm not. So I'm thinking it's probably going to stay closed pretty well by itself. I think here, though, I'm going to do 3 pockets. And let's see what I've got. What is the next page going to have on it? See, that part I don't know either. You know, I might wait to do this till I know what page is going to be next. Because I need to build it so that when you flip the page, that this page and this page look nice together. So, there you go. So there is page 1 almost completed. So now we're going to go to page 2. I hope you join me again. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. Hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification. Hello, we're starting on page 2 and I have got another blank slate. Now, I was looking at this page trying to figure out, because the back, I want to be able to use some of this, and I was trying to think of what I wanted to save from here. One thing, though, I definitely want is there is a border all the way around this paper. It's very light, very pretty. Let's see if you can see that. It's very light little border. So I'm going to take my strip off, and then I am going to cut, leaving an equal amount of pink on both sides of the border, and cut all of that all the way out. I'm just going to cut strips, so there'll be this, you know, there'll be 4 strips of it. I'm not going to try and maintain it, because that would just be making my job harder, and for not a whole lot of reason other than, you know, whatever. And then I'm just gonna, I don't know, I would love to probably save the outside and be able to use the inside. But I like these 4 to do a, you know, like a little waterfall. A smile is a memory made visible. And that's cute. It's not one of my favorites. This one, I love the little things you do. That to me is, you know, perfect. And then may the memories of today fill your heart with pleasure. So I will have those and these two to go into this page. And then I will have this center to work into the page as well. So that is what I'm going to do, and I will be back in just a second because you don't need to sit here and listen to me rambling on while I do it. Okay, so I have my 4 strips. Well, that's 3 of them. There's the 4th one over there too. But I've got my 4 strips, so I'm putting that in my little strip pile. I've got my 2 sides that I cut off and tried to make them equal on the outsides for using on this page. And then I'm going to be using this blue. So it doesn't leave me a lot, but I do have these that I can use, you know, individuals if I need to. Plus, when I flip these over, I'm not going to back them. I'm going to leave this. So I will get the blue stripe when I use these as, yeah, those things. Holy Toledo. A waterfall. Wah! Okay. Now, this darn thing. To start with, I want to make a side pocket here, and it's going to become part of the closure. So do I like a side pocket that's just going to be like that? I think that will look very cute. And then I'm going to put a decorative flap on it. So I'll have to come up with what I'm going to do for that. But let's make this pocket. Let's see. I want to get this on here the way I will be putting it. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to make a mark. Right, like a 1/16 of an inch away from this outer flap is where I'm making my mark. And then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to make a mark where I want this end to be cut. Now I am going to cut this down. So I don't think this is quite, no, it's not. So I am going to cut this down first, and then I will cut my piece across, my line across, and that will give me a nice little box. Oh, and it'll give me, maybe I'll have that butterfly. Where's my mark? Let's see, there's my mark, right there. So right here, oh shoot, that's going to cut that butterfly. Huh. Poodly doodly do. Well, I'll still be able to use it. It just won't be a whole butterfly. And that's fine. All right. I still have the other one. Okay. Yeah, see, I almost got the whole thing. That's fine. Okay, so put this back in my stash. And let's cut. Where's my mark? Right there. So that leaves me my little butterfly to cut out if and I so want to. And this should be fitting on here very nicely. Yes. And it leaves just a little bit of a border so that the flap can be a closure. So now I do want to build, and let me see what I have here. That maybe, that's not long enough. Is that long? Yeah, well, yeah, that's a whole thing. Do I have any that are wide enough? No, all of these. Oh my gosh, that is just so close. That is just so close. Poodle head. So, no. None of these. They're close, but no cigar. I will be able to use them for something. Not to worry. So I'm going to take this piece. And I am going to ink this up. And what am I going to use for the flap that's going to hold my, for my closure? It's going to hold everything together. Okay, let's see. So let me go ahead and get, this needs to be just a titch larger. And it's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I'm going to cut right here. And I'm also going to want this to be a nice, I don't know. Let me see. Is this going to be a nice enough pocket when glued down that I will be able to... I've got birds singing outside of my window and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think it's going to be fine. I don't want to add hinges on the ends because it's just going to make it unduly too thick. So that is the way we're going to do this. Now I need what I'm going to use for my flap. And what I'm going to use for underneath this. Let's see. Well, I think maybe just the pink. Save this. At least this one side. Save the whole thing. What do you think about this pink? That's not too bad. And then there's that pink. Either one, really. Either one. Let's see, what does this do for me? Nothing. No. No. And we have the blue. Nope. What else? I've got a few more sheets here. Nope. 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 That's not bad. It's very busy, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't really have a ton of choices. See, these two pieces that I pulled out are just phenomenally beautiful. But see, there are also some really good papers that go along with this. So, poodle head. I'm not going to use those, but I could pull the other one out because this isn't driving me crazy. Okay, so let me pull together what I think I want to put here and what I'm going to use on the flap. I am going to use something that comes over here and put a couple magnets or one magnet because I got to figure out what I'm going to use. Some decorative edge. Where's that frame? No, I want it to be something long, and that's just not long enough. And this one, no. See, this does not cut out unless you put the piece that has the cutout, so it would be a solid piece coming over, and I have used that already, and that would be kind of neat. And if it would still be on the page and wouldn't get into my way of my workings when you flip it open. That might be what I end up doing, and I'd like for it to have these leaves on it and have this come down, and then I would put a magnet right here so it could keep everything closed. Okay, I'm going to think about it. I'll be back. Okay, let's continue. So I have decided that I am going to use this card and use this again, and that's where my magnets are going to go. So, and I want to be able to use this card, but I also want to be able to use these two. So, by figuring out, I need to cut this, just leaving myself a little bit of pink on both sides, and that will leave me plenty for the other. There we go. There's that card for later use. And there we go. There's that card for later use. Okay, so now I want a green sheet. And what I was doing was cutting this in half, so at 5.5, because then it'll run through my machine twice, fine, you know, because I can only take up to 6-inch. And then I can get 2 of these out of one sheet. I just kind of give them a little angle, and I get both of them out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half and get myself, I'm probably going to go ahead and cut myself another set since I'm doing it. So I shall return. Okay, so just make sure that when you do this, you can leave the tape on the 2 pieces so that they cut out the exact same way every time. I went ahead and cut 4 out, so I'll only have to cut out 1 more. I'm so sorry. So you're going to need 2. And, of course, you'll get these little round things, which we've been using as well. And you need to have one piece that has the outside to it. So that's what you do. So clean this out. Clean all your little pieces out of your stuff. And now we're ready to move forward. So now our card is going to be centered. Let's see, do I want it centered? I guess I do want it centered in the picture. Centered in the picture. So right about, once you get it where you're happy with it. All right, there we go. I think I'm happy there. Take your pencil and let's mark this frame part that is here that goes the innermost circle, right on the outside of that frame part, on every place that has an opening, just draw yourself a little line all the way around. And this is going to give you what you're going to need to cut. All right. So now you have markings all the way around. And we're going to cut inside that marking. You don't have to be real precise, but you don't want to get away from those marks too much. All right, so then we're going to find our center again, and you should have that piece purely behind that one solid strip of paper that goes all the way around the innermost frame. So we'll be able to glue that down. Now we're going to need, now if you don't want to fill this in, then you don't have to worry about it. If you just want it to look like this and have openings through here, that's fine and dandy. Go ahead and do that. I am going to put a piece of the designer paper in between here, and you don't see a ton of it. So I am going to use, let's see, I think what, let's see, what papers am I using right now? I am using the blue, and I had, I think, let's see what this looks like. So now you remember, you're not going to see the inside. But if we use this, we're going to get specks of blue, green, and pink. And because, like, we're going to be using this blue, and the pink, I think that this will work really nicely. But yet you're not going to see so much of the blue that you're going to say, oh, but it is a good blue. Look at the blue around the flowers here, which are going to get used in this page. So we'll be fine. We're using this. And again, you're not going to see a ton of it. So now we are going to take, and you do want to make sure, if it's something that has an up and down strip to it, you need to make sure that you're going to have it the way you're going to be using it. Okay, so this is going to be my up and down right here. So I'm just going to place this. This print doesn't really matter. I'm going to place my marks. I mean my what do you call this? Mask, stencil, and then I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to go around these lines. So let's get that done. It's a little fiddly, but it's not going to be as hard to cut out as you think, because you don't really need to do all these little offshoots. You're just going to cut the main body of it out. Of course, the big leaves, yes. Oh, don't move. My sleeve caught it. We've got a beautiful day here, but it has still been a bit chilly. And we actually ventured out today and got a few things we needed. And I think that's where we started. Yes. And donned our gloves and our mask. My husband stayed in the car. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to cut this out. I'm sorry you can't really see it on here, but you're going to again cut inside the lines. And on my particular piece, there is a good 1/8 of an inch to play with. So as long as you say just inside the lines, you don't have to, let me show you on this piece. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, on this piece, all these little outside little swirly things, all of these things, you don't have to go and cut in there. You're just going to cut straight across. Okay, so you don't have to worry about maneuvering around those little pieces. Just cut them off. All right, so I'm just going to start and just kind of follow along, staying, you know, about a 1/16 of an inch off of your line and not much further than that, or you will not be able to, let's see, where does that go? Yeah, right there. I'm having a hard time seeing it, let alone you guys see it. Okay, back up around here. And you will have the opportunity if you miss something. So better to err on the side of caution than to have to do it again and waste your paper. So just stay real close to that line, and then if there's a little bit or piece that hangs out, you'll be able to clip that off. Okay, so there's mine. You see, it's got none of the little fancy edges. Just round them all off. Okay. So I'm just going to line this up. And looks like I missed just a little bit. Daggum. I cut a little too close. Just a couple spots there. Let me flip this. No, it doesn't work that way. Poodlehead. That must have been a line I just couldn't see. See, now I'm going to have to do this again, which I'm not going to make you wait on. But I'm missing one little piece. And I suppose I probably could just glue a little piece to it and nobody would be the wiser. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of round this. A little bit more down into the center. Let's see if that's going to get it. Yeah, you can't tell. So, easy fix. Even if you mess up, easy fix. Okay. So we're going to first glue this onto our front frame. So we're going to glue our sentiment card onto our front frame. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and put glue on the frame. And I want to get it, oh, come on. Come on. I must have some piece or something in my glue that's... Oop, oh, well, I think I got rid of whatever it was. I just had an explosion. Okay. Let me get this up and get this glue out of here. Gonna kind of that spot where I got a lot of glue, I'm just gonna kind of, I don't want it, okay, I don't want it squirting out. So now I'm gonna place this down and I'm gonna flip it up and make sure I'm straight. A smile is a memory made visible. Isn't that sweet? Okay. Burnish that with your fingers a bit. Okay, so there's that piece. Now we're going to glue on this piece. There we go. So again, I'm going to put the glue on the back side of my frame. And you don't have to do the little squiggly parts that are hanging out because we didn't get those cut. And you want to work as fast as you can because the glue dries quickly. And of course, I didn't put my magnet down yet. Dummy. Let's see. I'm going to just take one of these and put it down where I think I'm going to need it. Right about there. And now I'm going to place pick it up, make sure we're not missing anything. Let's move that down just a smidge. There we go. Oh, that is so pretty. And now I'm going to glue this little piece put a little glue underneath this tail here. There we go. Actually, let me cut that off as much as I can. There we go. Put it back into place. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? I like it. And I have my magnet in there. Where is it? There it is right there. I'm like, where did it go? So I did put it over here on this side. So when that's down, it will be able to grab the magnet, which will go onto this flap. Isn't it pretty? Let's see. So now, this is not going to be, this is not going to work the way I really wanted it to. So double thinking, because see, I was going to cut this down and attach underneath this piece so that the pocket, that this would open up, and then you could close it down on this and it would close it down. But I'm not real happy about having to cut that off. I kind of like the idea of every one of these, excuse me, having a place. You know, every one of the pages starting off with this same piece, just something different in it each time. Let's see. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Now you're going to take your back piece and you're going to glue this down, and it should match up perfectly. And then you're going to have your front and your back, and this is a nice green that'll show up with a little bit of pink and the grays, so it will be just fine. You actually are not going to see that much of it, but that will finish that off. And that's how you do those. So whatever you put in the middle, you just cut first, and then you get your piece, your backing piece, and then you get your second die cut and glue it together. All right? So that's how you do those. I'm still trying to figure this out. So, Yep. I don't know yet. That's going to be very, very interesting. Okay. Let's work on what paper we're going to put. I'm going to move my pocket. So that's my pocket. This is the front piece. So well, that would look pretty there. And then this piece, maybe, under here. And then it would look like one continuous piece across, and you would get the beauty of that paper. So I think that's one thing I'm going to do. And this pocket will look nice with this paper. Yeah, it'll be fine. It will be fine. It will be fine. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and figure out my height, where I'm going to want this, and then I'll cut it straight across, and then I'll only have to do that cut once, and both sheets will be the same height, and then you're not trying to match it up 2 and 3 times. And I didn't put my pencil back where it belonged, so I couldn't find it. Watch that housekeeping, people. Okay, housekeeping. Let's get my glue in my bottle. Okay, so first I'm going to cut the decorative strip off the very top, the barcode strip, because we love the back part. A little crooked on that one. My paper moved just as I cut, but that's okay. That was just the strip. Now, where's my line? As long as this one doesn't screw up, we'll be just fine. All right. So now we've got that nice strip, which is almost exactly the same on both sides. Oh well. Oh well. So let's make sure I like this height. Not that I have too much choice about the matter since it's already cut. Okay. All right. So now we've got this placed right where we want it. And we're going to cut it right here. Pretty. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And now this piece, we're going to cut this piece right here. So there's that. And I wonder if I like that. It fits perfectly. Wow. Yeah, I think I will do that. And then, let's see, where is... We'll do this. And will just be a strip short, but that will be very, very pretty right there. That will be very, very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. Now, do I want to add... I do not think so. Reason being is I think maybe down here I will add a strip. Maybe I will do 2 columns with the blue and add a strip that I am going to put my waterfall on, which is going to be these beautiful flowers. So that can be just about anything. I think I might make it with this as well. And I've got an 8.5 at least. Yeah, so I'm not sure I really like it with that though. Let's see here. Let's see here. What all do I have? I need it to be wide enough. There's not a whole lot with blue in it. Just not a whole lot with blue in it, except for, I think I'm going to have to get out, which I really don't like doing. I really wanted to try and get the first 2 pages done with, but I'm just going to have to steal a section of... Where's that other one that's got a little bit of blue to it, other than those? No. Well, that's got a lot of blue to it. That's a beautiful green. And that's pretty nice there. I think I could, and this blue, I think I'll use this. And this is the one that I had 3 sheets of. So I think I will use a section of this right here. You're not going to see much of it except for at the bottom. That's about it. Okay, so I am going to make, let's see, where's my, excuse me. I want this strip to be as wide as this strip. So let me go ahead and cut off my strip here. Just checking to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, there's that pretty strip. I'm going to line this up, top and sides, because this is what's going to keep us nice and straight. So I'm just going to put a line right there. And of course I wrote on my paper because I'm working on my paper. Silly goose. Let's go ahead and take this off just for a few minutes. All this off to the side. Let me go ahead and cut this. All right, and I think I'm going to have to cut that down just a little bit. Although, no, yeah, just a smidge. I mean a teeny tiny little piece. Let's see. This back over there. Teeny tiny little piece. All right, I think I did very well. Very well. Let's see, even if it's a little smaller, we just don't want it a little bigger. All right, we're good. Okay, so we have this. It's not going to be this long, but I'm going to use the upper part of this. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and do my cards, and I have the 2 loose ones I set over here somewhere. There they are. So there's going to be, well, I could use this one on another one of these pieces. Excuse me. Or I will have a selection on the second sheet of these for another one. May the memories of today fill your heart with pleasure. Because I'm thinking, if you put these about a 1/2 inch apart, there's that one, there's that one, there's that one, another one, and another one. So you know what? I think I'm going to make this a belly band. I think I'm going to make it a belly band. I've got plenty of space here. So let's go ahead and no, this way. Sorry. Let's do it this way. I'm saying, well, how does that make that work? I don't know. Okay. So we've got our first flip. Our first hingy thing. And then that will go right up top. And then we will slide a piece of each on each side in, so then it'll go in and out pretty nicely. Now I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in just a minute, because I don't want it to constantly hook. If I cut these short and they just go under a 1/2 inch, when you go to slide something in, it's going to hook on that, and then you'll have to be pulling at it and all that to get it in, where you want it to go smoothly. So we will make this paper wider. So just hang with me for a second while I go ahead and get, let me turn this way so I can see what I'm doing. So I can go ahead and get this where I'm going to put my next score mark. Okay. And let's double check this before I really press it down. Remember, when you do press it down, it does flatten it and spread it out a little bit, but I think I'll end up still being a titch short. So I want to make sure it's on the furthest outside spot of that score line. So I'm going to hold that way. Now, so this should, I realize it's upside down, but this should fit perfectly. Yes! We love perfect. We don't get it very often. Okay, then I'm just going to cut this down a little bit, you know, about a 1/2 inch. Save the little pieces because we will be able to use them. Okay, so here is my belly band. Now, let's see. What did I do with my little cards? Here they are. Now I need, what am I going to use for my hinge? You're going to be able to see it. Maybe if I use a bit of this. So I can get 2 off of here. Let me go ahead and cut this the right length, the correct length. Let me get this on here again. Oh, Lisa, let's go here, girl. Okay. So I'm going to cut this. Let's see, is that really even, straight? Not really. Let me get my little, let's see if we can come up with a kind of a measurement on these puppies. I can't really cut them down any. No, it's straight. It just doesn't look straight. Yeah, it's all okay. That one, it just didn't look straight. I guess it's a optical contusion. That's what my husband calls it. He's such a nut. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see why I have this out. This is 1 3/8. So I'm going to cut it like 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to put this back. And we're just going to make our little hinge somewhere in the center. Okay, so there's 2, and I need another piece. So let's see, do I have any more? That goes there. I don't believe I got any more in here. Okay. Put that back. And I am going to cut a few more out of here. So I'm just going to make a mark here, and I'm going to need about 1 inch or so. I'll put my line down there. All right, here we go. Just going to cut that little smidge out of here. There we go. So I just cut the little section out. 3/4 of an inch. Three-quarters of an inch. Oh, you know what? That only gives me 4, and I needed 5. Poodle head. And I know I don't have a piece in here. It's wrong way. Is that long enough? It most certainly is. 3/4 of an inch. And I think one of mine is a little on the shorter side. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one more. That's 3. This one's too short. I need them all to be nice and equal. And I'm just lining this up on the line at the 3/4 of an inch mark. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So, and I can, if I think, I'm going to leave this out here. If I think I can get a couple more on there, I might go to my second sheet, but I probably will make another one of these, so I will have my second sheet to do it with. Okay, so now these all are going to have to be the same, and they're not. Dadgummit. So I may have to change my sheet. But that's okay. I can do that, because all it means is going back to the cutter. So now that's the same size. And this one. I think I measured the sheet, though, off of this one. And these two I cut separately. So that will work in our favor. Make sure it is lined up, and then give it a little cut. All right, I do believe we are ready. Let's get these other 2 or 3 scored. And I think I'm scoring at the 3/8 line. Kind of gives that center point. Now there's an upright side and you know, so make sure if you do have Like I've got writing, so I have to make sure I'm actually getting that all in the right way. So I'm going to close these down. Oh, that one didn't get... Okay. I'm going to close these down like this so that the inside that we're interested in... Well, now that one is not straight. You do want these to sit straight. So you might have to maneuver it around a little bit to get it there. Okay, and then once you get them straight, give them a good burnish. If you don't get them straight, then they are going to throw your whole little thing off. And the 3/8 was not really center, so I'm just going to kind of roll it and make it work, because I want these to be even. So probably, because they're 3/4 of an inch, if you just fold them, you'll be better off than trying to fight the score line like I'm trying to do right now. So let's try this again. Okay, there's that. Okay.
About something else, you sound pretty upset.
All right. Sounds like my son. I'm sorry, I got real quiet there for a minute, didn't I? Sounds like my son has got a very upset friend, so I don't know what that's all about. All right, let's see here. Just working these puppies to get them nice and straight. There we go. And one more. Now you guys could totally make these just the 1 inch, but I just, conserving the paper, because I've got a lot of different things I want to do, and I don't want to run out of the designer paper. So I just figured I'd save a little bit. But yeah, you could totally do these at 1 inch and then just do your 1/2 inch, your 1/2 inch score mark, and then bam, you're done. You don't have to worry about all this. There we go. Okay, lots of fiddling. Now let's get these cut. Go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping here. Keep the place clean. This is my belly band. This is garbage. I'm saving in case I need another one. All right. So, and make sure these are all the same size. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing the strips that we just folded. So our hinge strips. And we want to make sure you get whatever you think is the top. This looks like the top to me. And get that hinge right on the upper edge. And everything should fit perfectly. If it hangs over a little bit, you're going to clip it off. but you want that to be right up on the edge at the top. Okay, give it a little burnish. Open it up. Now again, this is where if you have even a little bit hanging off, just snip it. Snip it good. Da, 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 da. Sorry. See, and then these are going to fit right across the belly band. So they're going to be, it's going to look like it's just a solid belly band. And I will have like a closure, I think, going across them. But let's get all of these prepped and ready. Okay. And I think all of mine are going to be a little long because I think I measured them along with these before I cut them down. So I think I'm going to have to cut mine down, all of them, by just a smidge. Okay, once we get it, cut it nice and straight, and just snip that little end off. There we go. Now I need to cut these, and I'm going to try my best to get them kind of in the center, so each one of them has the same amount of space. So it's aesthetically pleasing. Ooh, big word, big word. Yeah, so that's good. And I have 3 more of these and 3 more of these. I'm going to go ahead and get these done, and I'll bring you right back.